back, bitches. I'm Amanda.
I'm Drew.
And we're back cooking for you. Ooh, look at that. That was fun. You know, English teacher. So today we are making a beer battered fish and chips and a malt vinegar aioli. And by we, I mean Drew's going to tell me how to do it.
Absolutely. All right, so what we're going to do to get us started is we're going to actually walk through doing the beer battered fish using the anniversary beer. We were told the anniversary beer had some cool like cracker notes to it, so we thought that would really go well with the idea of the fish and chips. So we're going to pull that together, and then while that is kind of going through its process and frying, we're going to be walking through the malt vinegar aioli. We're doing actually just the fish and the aioli. This way we can actually walk you through a way that you can switch this up to either be South Carolina, kind of the low country, or you'll be able to do this with a little bit more of the Old Bay flavors, or adding in like coleslaw and hush puppies as a side, versus doing it the traditional British way, and just keeping it with the malt vinegar flavors and the fish and chips. So we're going to walk you through the fish, the beer batter, walk you through the aioli, and then it's up to you to be creative with how else you want to serve it. All right?
I can't wait.
You ready to get started?
So many British accents are happening today, you guys.
Oh my gosh, I cannot wait for the British accent.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so we're going to walk you through first doing your batter. So I'm going to actually let you do it, but I'm going to walk you through each step. So we're going to start by first grabbing our beer, and then I'm going to walk you through some of the things I do to make sure that this is a light, crispy batter. So let's get started on your batter. We're going to start off with all-purpose flour. We can do that. I think you can measure it pretty easily into this 1 cup measuring cup just by pouring it. So we're going to go just 2 cups of that in here. You can take this.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you can
Drew says things like, "This is easy," and then he remembers, "It's me. I'm doing
It is
it."
easy.
But if it goes a little off.
That's fine. Yeah, you're good. This is just this is not an exact science, so please do not stress yourself out. But we're trying to make sure. We're going to go for about a 50-50 ratio of liquid to our flour mixture. So use a cup of flour, 2 cups of flour, we're going to go somewhere in the range of 2 cups of beer as well. So
that's why cooking is so great, because it's not an exact science. And that's what we do.
all right, perfect. And then we're going to go in with about a cup of that flour into this one. I'll explain why we're doing that. So
okay.
We're going to have a dry flouring station, and then we're going to have our wet batter as well. So what we're going to do is dredge our fish in dry flour, which will give us a little bit of a sticky coating on the exterior, pick up some of the surface moisture, and then that'll allow the wet coating to actually stick to the fish really well before it goes into the fryer.
This is why you're the professional.
All right, so we're going to add in a couple of ingredients here that are keys for getting that fluffy texture. So we're going to go with some baking powder. I'm going to go in 3 teaspoons there.
Okay, baking powder.
So 3 teaspoons of baking powder. And then the last but not least, this is a little secret ingredient. This is rice flour. This is different than using like cornstarch or using potato starch. This is rice flour. It's often really easy to find on Amazon or at the Asian grocer. What this does is really actually provides a really nice light texture to your batter. So AP flour, all purpose. We're going to go with a little bit of the rice flour as well. I have probably about 1/3 of a cup here.
Look at you.
Going with that cool little secret. I will grab these from you.
I love secrets.
Awesome. And then just go ahead and mix those in right together. Just make sure everything's combined.
And you smile when you mix, and then it makes it better.
All right, so for the sake of measurement, because I tend to just pinch salt and throw it, we're going to go in with some salt here. This is kosher salt. I highly recommend you use kosher salt, and specifically Diamond Crystal. Diamond Crystal is actually just 100% salt. It doesn't have anything else added to it, like anti-caking agents or things like that. So Morton is fine in a pinch, but Diamond Crystal is where it's at. And we want to use kosher when you're cooking because it's extremely forgiving. So it's one of the most forgiving, kind of not salty salts. So we're going to go in with about 3 teaspoons of salt here into our, what will be our wet batter.
What Drew is trying to say is get the bougie salt. It's worth it.
Again, this is one you can find on Amazon. Some grocery stores have it. We went 3 teaspoons in our wet batter. We went 2 teaspoons in the dry batter. We want to make sure we're seasoning well here because no one likes bland food.
No.
All right, we're going to hit this with a little bit of pepper. You're good on mixing.
Thank
we'll
you.
add in some liquid here in just a second.
Look at that.
Just going to go with a little bit of fresh cracked black pepper. Again, we're just adding our seasoning in here to each step of the process.
I love it.
Awesome. All right, and then we are going to go ahead and add in, this is a 12-ounce pour, right?
It sure is.
All right, so we have 12 ounces of beer with 2 cups here. We're going to add this in about 3/4 of the way, and we're going to get a feel for this. We're looking for just a little bit thicker than pancake batter. So we're going to...
That's specific, and I like that. This is the one I need in my life, the directions I need.
All right, so let's go ahead and mix that in. Awesome. And I'm going to go ahead while she's working on that and separate out these 2 eggs. These are actually going to come in together here in a second for our aioli. So Cool little chef's trick here. Everyone has their own way of doing this. You can use one of those fancy things on Amazon, like an egg separator. But my mom always did it this way, so.
And it's better that Drew is doing that, because at one point he told me I was going to separate the eggs. And I won't lie to you, I panicked a little. So this is great. This is a good idea.
All right, yolk number 1. We're just going to toss that. We're not using the whites for anything here. If you were at home and you wanted to save these whites, 2 of them is not going to be a lot. But if you were going to, walk through a bunch of this, you're doing a lot of the batter or something, or a lot of aioli, you could always save your whites and make a meringue.
Sure, casually make a meringue.
Meringue cookies.
Oh my gosh, I'm having this.
Gives you a reason to make a lemon meringue pie.
This guy.
All right, so we have 2 yolks in there. I'm going to toss these and wash my hands. I'll be right back.
And I'm just going to stand here and mix.
All right, so stop mixing for 1 second.
Now I'm going to stop mixing because that's what Drew said.
All right, key thing I didn't say here and I should have. This is my fault.
Oh no.
All right, we're going to go in with some more liquid here. Obviously, we're looking for batter. So I'm going to mix this a little bit. Will you grab some more?
Could I grab some more beer? The only thing I'm good at? Yes.
All right, so what we're going to do here is make sure that you're folding this in. We're not looking for dough. We're looking for batter. So the other thing that you're aiming for here is that you really want to make sure that you don't over stir and overwork this, because we're not looking for it to create a lot of gluten.
I did it.
You're fine. No, you're good. We're not there yet, so we're good. We're good still. So.
See, you learn when you cook.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like rice flour, bougie salt.
All right, so I would highly recommend that if you're doing this at home, that you use a whisk. I was packing things this morning to get to Oak Road and did not bring mine. So, all right, so we have a really nice consistency on our batter here. Like I said, slightly thicker than pancake batter, and we're going to let that just chill for a second. So why we want to let that rest is just because we want some of the bubbles to kind of settle in, and we want to just kind of like do its thing, let that beer and that liquid kind of hydrate all that flour, so we don't have lumps or anything in there. And we're going to just mix our dry ingredients in our flour here. You can do this the technical way with your fingers, or you can be all bougie and get a whisk.
No, sometimes it's bougie. Today it's technical.
All right, so we have started off with 2 egg yolks that we separated out here. We're going to go in with a tablespoon of Dijon mustard. And we'll let you walk through these pieces. Again, these are going to be rough measurements. You can use I'm using a plastic spoon just for convenience sake. You can absolutely use a actual metal tablespoon at your house. You can use a measuring spoon. I find that to be more complicated to get it off the spoon, but that's up to you. If you are someone who really, really needs things to be specific. So to get a tablespoon, we need about 3 teaspoons. So since you're going to be a little bit
add a little more in there.
Yeah, we're going to go in 1 more of those spoons.
I got it. I'm in.
Cool.
I'm all in. Oops, and I like mustard.
Perfect.
There we go.
Awesome. All right. And then in your liquid, toss this. In your liquid measuring cup right there, we're going to go with a 1/4 cup of malt vinegar. Whatever malt vinegar you like, there's no right or wrong here on that.
You sound like you're from London. And so we got the London one. That's about all I got.
Oh my gosh, that was this one, right?
I love it.
1/4 cup. Yep.
British things.
So it has a little thing on the top of the lid. Pop that off before easier.
Or make it complicated, just like my life. Here we go. There we go.
Awesome. And then in that same measuring cup, we're going to measure out a cup of oil.
Oh man. Woo! Ooh.
Again, this is the pinch thing. This is about a teaspoon of salt. Very nice. Awesome.
Yes.
All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to get 1 clove garlic, unless it's a little clove, in which case we're going to go 2, because all things garlic, there can never be too much.
Love that.
If the recipe says 1 clove of garlic and you don't use at least 2, no, that can go 2. All right, so we're going to teach Amanda how to use a little trick here.
Okay.
Pull this stuff out of your way so it's not.
Thank God.
All right, cool. So what we're going to do here is, so you can see, take a knife.
Knife.
We're going to go flat on the top of the garlic.
Oh yeah, I've seen this.
And you're just going to give it, instead of pushing, you're just going to give it a little bump with your hand. So hold this still on and then bump. Perfect. Yep, good job. Now the other one.
Oh my gosh. I've seen this on the internet, so this is very exciting.
Yeah. You're learning how to do things like a chef.
Sure. Or just smack your shit. Love it.
Well, you said your life is complicated. Sometimes you need to smash things. All right, so what that'll do is really make your garlic easy to pull away from your skins.
Oh my gosh. So easy.
Yeah. So that's our goal here. And then once we get all our skins off, which I think we do, we're going straight into there.
Oh, like not even shopping?
Because we're going to blend it.
Oh.
So you don't have to chop these because we are going to blend it. We're using an immersion blender. You can do this in your Vitamix or your Ninja. The challenge with either of those might be that it's shallow because it's not such a high quantity. But you can do it, it'll work, especially Vitamix.
Thing I probably shouldn't be touching because they don't allow me to touch the equipment.
This is going to be so fun. All right, so we're going to go straight in. And we have this kind of set on like a medium and then the top button.
Look at me, touching the equipment at Oak Road Brewery. What a new concept.
All right, so once we've gotten the kind of egg and the mustard and the vinegar, garlic, all kind of pulled together, we're gonna start really slowly drizzling in. So what I want you to do is just kind of angle this way just a little bit so I can pour from this side. So we're gonna go in like a slow drizzle here. And what this is gonna do is literally emulsify right into a aioli. It's like magic.
This smells so good, I wish you could smell it.
Alright, so you're good. Now, what you'll have is kind of a creamy, liquidy consistency, and I'm going to show you a really cool trick so that you don't have to mess in your kitchen.
Oh my gosh!
So just go right to the sink.
What a tip!
Now we didn't drip. So we have a clean workspace. We're good to go. We have our aioli done. What I'm going to do is show you. I'm going to borrow this lid right here. This aioli needs to go in your fridge for about 2 hours so that it can set up, and then I'll show you exactly what you'll have.
Because professionally, he's already made it.
Naturally. Gotta have the finished product.
Oh my gosh.
So, we're gonna let you taste this.
Okay.
So, texture of your aioli will now look a little bit more creamy
I was like,
and thick, similar to like a really light mayonnaise. So.
Okay, here I go.
This is our Malt Vinegar Aioli. You can serve this with anything. You can eat it with French fries. You can eat it on a burger, a chicken sandwich.
Oh my god! I'm gonna pretend like I made this one. This is so delicious.
You did just make the exact same thing.
Whatever.
All right, cool. So we're gonna let that sit in the cooler over here for a second, and while that's happening, we're gonna walk through the process of getting our fish done. Let's talk fish. Whenever you're making fish and chips, there are kind of some common ones. Cod is a very popular one. Pollock is another one. You see a bunch of different white fishes. Anything that's firm will work. You can use anything you want, really. Firmer fishes are going to be a little bit more conducive to the breading and dipping process without you having to like breaking up all your little pieces of fish. So what I did was a couple of reasons why. We have some fresh cod we got here at the local fish market in Somerville, and we are gonna. What I did is cut this up into pieces, more like a fish finger, if you will. So it's going to look a bit more like this versus a big fillet like you might find at a fish and chip shop. The reason why is twofold. One, we're using a fry daddy, which is a smaller vessel to fry in. So we wanted to keep things a little bit smaller so we could fry them evenly and keep them crowding.
I like that you call it, that it's called a fry daddy.
It literally is, that's the name.
Love it.
This is my very southern heritage popping up on the Oak Road cooking stage here. Every little southern woman has a fry daddy, and so I felt like I needed to get a fry daddy.
I love it.
Super easy and convenient to fry things. So we're going to walk through our breading process here. I'm actually going to make Amanda bread a couple of them just for the fun, because everyone loves entertainment factor.
You know it, something weird's going to happen, and that's why they let me come here.
Alright, so what we're going to start off with is, you can season this fish again if you want. You can season salt and pepper just directly on the fish. We seasoned our batter in both places. I'm going to leave it like it is. There's just a little bit of salt. There's a good bit of salt in both of these things, so just be conscious that if you are salting each section, that you don't over season your food.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to have salty fish.
No.
And our batter is good. We are light and airy here. We have got some good bubbles from our beer. Looks like all of our flour is hydrated well.
Russian it.
Awesome. So, whole process. Dry, wet, fry. We have our oil hot here. We are at 350 to 375 degrees. So our goal here is we're going to keep it at that temp. So since our fish is cold, we don't want to overload the fryer. So we're going to go in like 3 or 4 pieces at a time. So we're going to teach the... I forgot you did your nails, so I guess I'll do this since you have your nails on.
Oh, but I'll still do it.
So you don't end up with like nails full of flour. So
gross.
We're going to do one hand dry, one hand wet. So we're going to go, because this keeps us from getting all caked up. So first into our seasoned dry flour, just our regular all-purpose flour, a little bit of seasoning here. I'm going to just do 2 or 3 of these at the same time.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah. So what we're doing here is we're creating a little bit of a wet texture of the flour on the exterior of the fish. And the goal for that is that we want it to stick to the wet batter so that you get a really good adherence and you don't lose it. So we're going to switch to wet hand. Nice dunk in.
Get it right in there. Dunk
all the way
it.
in. Shake off our excess a little bit.
Oh,
Scrape
yeah.
it inside the bowl so we don't go.
And then into the fry daddy.
and then into the fried egg.
Oh my gosh.
You gonna do it?
I'm gonna do it.
All right, cool. So
I'm
left
here.
hand.
Okay.
Perfect.
And then you get it all up in there. And with the left hand.
Yep, and then use your right hand for your wet stuff.
And then you just wet it in there.
And I'm gonna just keep an eye on these. We're gonna flip these over a couple of times while they're in the oil. We're gonna go probably for about 6 minutes, 5 to 6 minutes on these. They're small pieces.
Can I just drop this in the fried out here or should I
You
wait?
can. So what we're gonna do is just kind of watch it. We're gonna keep an eye on it. So
Okay.
just kind of go right here to this open spot on the side.
Fried out here.
Perfect.
Ooh, I almost mixed up my hands, and that would have been a disaster.
And just give them a flip every couple of minutes. What we're aiming for here is just to make sure that one side doesn't brown more than the other side, so we don't end up with like uneven cooking on the exterior. So just give it a couple flips. It's not fully submerged. If you had a basket you could put over the top, maybe that would work. But
Look at that!
all right, and then we're gonna just drain here. Another trick we're gonna do here is you wanna go onto a rack and not onto paper towels. Now I have paper towels under the rack just to keep the oil clean up easy, but you wanna go onto a rack because the air on the bottom allows for the fish to actually drain and not end up soggy. Because if you put it on paper towels, the steam on the bottom against the paper towel will actually cause the fish to get really soggy. And who wants soggy fish?
Nobody. Look at, it's like, oh my gosh, he's even piling it like a true professional.
So this with a little bit of our malt vinegar aioli.
Look at how fancy. The fanciest guy in all the land.
Ladies first. Just pick it up, dip it, and right into that aioli.
It's just very
Be careful, it will be very hot. Don't burn yourself.
So then you can professionally do it like this. Make sure it's not too hot and burn your entire mouth. Got it. Holy crap. I almost should not say crap.
You can do that with this pairing.
Oh my
And it
gosh.
should just be wonderfully crispy and dry,
This
not
is
overly
amazing.
greasy. Key trick I will give everyone who's going to do this recipe, most definitely use clean oil. Don't use old oil. Old oil will do two things. One, it breaks down and will actually cause your food to become a lot more greasy. So clean oil keeps you with a lighter coating and doesn't get too greasy on your fingertips.
Yeah, just keep talking because I'm going to eat this.
Please go ahead.
So when are you quitting your job and becoming a professional chef?
Not anytime soon.
Oh,
Why would I do that when I can enjoy doing this?
that's true. God, you're good at this.
I get to cook with you on Sunday mornings.
Woo! Okay, so seriously follow this recipe. Seriously come get some beer from Oak Road, especially the New World, because honestly, this is fan-freaking-tastic. Look for us again, because I'm sure we're going to do this again.
Absolutely.
And then we could say, we're back, bitches.
That's right.
So it's cooking with Amanda and Drew, and really, just Drew, but I'm here. Bye.